Aliny Godinho warned police about estranged husband weeks before he killed her. A mother of four told her police she feared for her life shortly before she was stabbed to death by her estranged husband in front of their 3-year-old daughter. Ricardo Godinho, 41 of Kingston Road, Epsom, stabbed his wife Aliny Godinho, 39, repeatedly on the street near Nonsuch Park in Ewell. She had been on the school run with 3 other mothers at the opening of his trial for murder. Prosecutor Kate Lumsden, QC, told a jury at Guildford Crown Court that a witness described Mr. Godinho as expressionless and cold, calm and collected while he carried out the stabbing before fleeing in a pickup truck. He subsequently admitted manslaughter but denied murder. Ms. Lumsden said it is the Crown's case that Mr. Godinho killed his wife to punish her out of revenge for leaving him and, as he saw it, keeping him from his children. He planned it, he armed himself, lay in wait and killed her in cold blood. The jury heard that Mrs. Godinho, who also went by her maiden name, Aliny Mendes, had previously warned police about her husband and mentioned to a friend on the morning of her death that she had told her priest, "My life is under threat." She had previously made a similar statement to her sister, Miss Lumsden said. However, Miss Lumsden said, Mrs. Godinho also told that same friend, "I believe if he found me alone in the street now, that he would do it, but I don't believe he would do it in front of the children, and I am always with them." Miss Lumsden said she had first told police about her husband in December 2018, alleging that he had been controlling and psychologically abusive throughout their 17-year relationship, which had ended a month previously. On one occasion in 2013, she said Mr. Godinho grabbed her throat and ripped up her passport when she tried to leave him. She also claimed he was using an app to track her movements via one of their children's phones. On December 28, 2018, Mrs. Godinho was moved into emergency accommodation in Streatham while her husband was arrested and subsequently bailed on the condition he did not contact her. However, Miss Lumsden said he was released under investigation around a month later. Eventually, on February 7, 2019, Mrs. Godinho realised her husband was still monitoring her emails via iCloud. A friend notified the police, who asked to see her on February 8, but Mrs. Godinho asked to delay a day so she could take her children to a party. But by then it was too late, Miss Lumsden said. Aliny was dead. That afternoon, the prosecutor told the jury Mr. Godinho drove to Nonsuch Park, parking by the entrance opposite a bus stop near the children's school. Mrs. Godinho arrived with their youngest daughter in tow shortly before 3 p.m, getting off a bus at the stop near the school. As their bus pulled away, CCTV shown to the jury showed Mr. Godinho's car crossing the road and mounting the curb behind Mrs. Godinho and the 3 other mothers. Ms. Lumsden said, as the truck pulled up and the women turned to see what was happening, they heard Aliny scream. One of them thought she had been hit by the truck. A man jumped out of the truck and ran towards Aliny hunched over. Aliny backed away from him, holding her daughter's hand. As he reached her, he grasped her with one hand and with the other stabbed her repeatedly in the upper body. As she sank to the floor, he continued to stab her in the chest and neck. Telemetry data from Mr. Godinho's car suggests the whole attack lasted just 17 seconds. Mr. Godinho then drove off at speed, arriving at his home in Kensington Road just after 3 p.m, and allegedly telling his secretary, "I stabbed Aliny, I think she's dead. I stabbed her several times." In July 2019, Godinho was found guilty of murder and possessing an offensive weapon and jailed for life, with a minimum term of 27 years.